Hello all and welcome to RaceOnOz PC League. We have round 3 from Zandvoort here. It is your host Joe Marnie and I am very pleased to be joined by Nick Kramer in the Combox tonight. Nick, welcome.
JJ, my man, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here. So I'm really looking forward to this one tonight. I'm very excited right now.
Oh, it's going to be an absolute cracker as we head into round 3 at Zandvoort. Unfortunately, I was away last week for round 2, but we had a magnificent race, and that was thank you to Tom for the broadcast. As we've got some pretty tight championships amongst the classes. We'll have a quick look at the overall class, which is being led by Andrew O'Hara, Philippa Bakita, a win each for each of these. So they're tied at the top of the order, followed by Mitch Hobbs, Mitchell Weston, Dylan Martin in his first season with the PC League, Bruno Gallo, James Reed, Vic Chan, another one, his first season in the PC League. He's going well. Paul Russell and Robert Fluke round out the top 10. In the silver class, Nando Latanzio is leading from Peter Wall and Anthony Sassana rounding up the top 3. It's all pretty tight, a couple of rounds in. And then there will be some very, very familiar names for you. Dean Karki leading the AM class from Stu Parsons and James Mack. They've all had some very interesting races, these guys. It is class-based, so it doesn't really matter where they finish overall, just as long as they're at the top of their particular class. As we're 30 seconds away from getting started with qualifying, we'll have a quick look at the track here. I'm not going to have a crack at saying some of these names, but all I can say is there's going to be plenty of action on lap 1, turn 1, 3, and 4 and then as I head up over the hill, big right-hander, and into turn 9 and 10 there'll be plenty of action as well. And a real hot spot is going to be the chicane Hans Ernst Bock. I think that would be how you pronounce it. I'm not 100% sure about that one. And
better than me.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit like that. And the event info, apologies, this is round 3. So we've got a 45-minute practice session has just finished. We've got a 15-minute qualifying session, which is about to start, and a 60-minute race with a mandatory pit stop for tyres, and fuel is optional. So expect the majority of the pit stops to happen between the 25-minute to 35-minute mark in this race, as cars are beginning to head out on track.
It's an interesting circuit, isn't it? Especially with turn 3, the sort of banked curving, if you like. And then it gets that real technical kind of through sort of 4, 5, and 6, where it sort of spits you out left and you've got to make the right-hander, and then sort of tight and twisty. I think they got a little bit of a turn 12 for the F1s. They had a sort of like a stadium kind of setup, a la Mexico. Not quite as good, but definitely have that party vibe, party atmosphere going. I think you see it's here passes.
So that's Case Parsons. Right, so yeah. Parsons' name is very recognisable within, by the two of us.
Yes.
Through the relative of the 3 Parsons in this race, we've done a lot of racing with and commentary with. And I hope you'll be sitting back watching these guys go. So Case has had an interesting season. He's I think this is actually his first time sim racing, so he's having a few dramas on his out lap, but it's good to see him here.
He's just working out the kinks by the looks of things. He'll get it together, I'm sure. Yeah, how's my man Mitchell Weston? Sort of, I'm used to his console name, but how's my man Mitchell Weston been going this season, JJ?
We'll have a look. So he's in the Porsche for this season. And he's actually been doing quite well. He's definitely made the step up from console to PC, and he's made some really good gains speed-wise. He's been mixing it with the top of the PC League as he's just starting his first flying lap. There's a bit of traffic at the end of the lap, so 34 cars. There's not a lot of room on this circuit, so there's been significant change to this track for F1, and we get to see them reflected within the game. But this particular version of the track, there is plenty of action. There's pretty tough spots to pass, and you can
very tight, very tight.
Circuit.
Yeah.
But when you really get the car hooked up, it feels a bit like a roller coaster, and it's a lot of fun.
It's a tough one though. It's not an easy track. It's one a lot of precision required around here.
There's a few nasty bumps, nasty curves around the place as well.
Mitch Hobbs goes the fastest so far. Momentarily. Philippa Bikina though. 1:34.7. What sort of time is you thinking tonight, JJ?
In the 34s. A high, well, it'll mid 34. I think for the conditions that we've got. So I think there's a delivery that I do want to show. He's a bit of a favourite amongst the league. And that is this one here by Haggis.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
so cool.
That is a great retro livery, this one. And Haggis has been going pretty well. He's definitely taken well to PC and has been making improvements. The BMW is a pretty good car to drive. It'll be interesting to see how he goes tonight. So we were on board, we were following Weston before, and he had to pull out of his lap. Just see if Keita goes for another lap here. Watch the onboard of this one. She goes quicker again, 34.5.
Faster.
So Michael Easter's come back and joined for this race, so he's in the Audi, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes tonight. His first race of the season.
I just went off, just picked up the dirt just in front of us. Had another car pull out there as well.
There's plenty of traffic out there. Bikina's up by 0.2.
Has a little bit more traffic ahead of her, but I don't think that will cause too much of an issue at this stage. Pretty good through there. Nice and tight. Only 8.5 minutes left, so sort of past almost the halfway mark. So she's going to go faster again here, JJ. By the looks of things.
Oh, what a time. A low 34. 34.2.
That's quick.
She didn't improve in the middle sector then either, so she's still got time in this. As Weston is second at the moment, and he's almost half a second behind. As O'Hara goes to second. 0.13 of a second behind.
Still going, still up on that time.
Keita's up again. We're going to have So O'Hara's pitted. Weston's come out for another run now.
I can keep an eye on Mitchell for you if you like, while you're on board with Keita here. He's just getting warmed up.
Dylan Martin was 4 tenths up on his time. He's lost 3 tenths. Too short sectors in.
He's just about to hit the line now. So he doesn't improve.
Yes, he improved his time. He hasn't improved his position.
Yeah. Quite a few Porsches doing well. There's three Porsches in the top 6.
Sweet.
Sold BMW there.
Yeah, there's a good mixture of car classes through the whole group. As we just have Peter Wall is the leader so far for silver class. So we go back lower through the order. Dean Karki is leading AM class at this stage. It's very close between himself and James Mack. Just over 5 minutes left in this one.
It's pretty tight amongst the top 2, Bakita and O'Hara. Mitchell just 4 tenths off there. D. Martin, B. Gallo, so they're all pretty closely packed there. From sort of third down, there's not much in it between them at this stage.
And well, congratulations to Philip Bakita for her second place in the SRO race over the weekend. And he was running second place and disconnected, and that was Andrew O'Hara, so it was a big disappointment for him. There was a lot of Rooz guys and girl in that particular race, all with varying results. Definitely Bakita finishing on the podium in second place was a great result. There's plenty of traffic out there. Andrew Harris not going to improve on this one. Weston's just
Up by
first sector of his lap.
Yeah. And you got D. Martin as well. I think he's on a warm-up lap at the moment. So Mitchell got caught up with a little bit of traffic on one of his earlier runs, but he's got a few cars, got about 4 or 5 cars just ahead of him right now. Don't think it's going to cause any issue for him though.
Another brilliant livery is this one by Paul Russell with the Monster Energy Porsche. This is an absolutely brilliant looking car.
This is all new territory for me, JJ, obviously coming over from Console. Don't have the flexibility in liveries as they do on PC, so this is a very pleasant, refreshing surprise. Mitchell's about to finish his lap now. I don't think he's going to improve either, so he'll remain in P4. S. Madison's put the Honda up there on the second row of the grid in P3. Not too sure if there's any other Hondas in the field. He might be the only one by the looks of things. Not a popular choice, clearly.
So Weston is set to improve. He's got final sector to go and he's almost 2/10 up. There's not a lot of green boxes throughout the field. It's all a lot of people have got their best times in already.
Yeah, less than 3 minutes to go as well. Not a lot of time left to put in another time lap right now.
So Weston's dropped time and he's got drop time through the middle sector. As Makita just sets up another lap. We'll go back through the field. So it is still Peter Wall who's leading silver class. The 35.4. Ando Lattanti not far behind with 35.5. As we see, so Patrick Oliver is third in silver class with 35.6. Go back through to AM class, and James Mack is leading AM class so far with a 36.5. Dean Karki with a 36.6. Mark Hurley with a 36.8. Dean Karki and Mark Hurley have done a hell of a lot of racing against each other. Recognise Karki from console. Mark Hurley is medal steel from console. So the two of them have come across to PC, and no doubt they're still doing a lot of practice together.
Or D. Martin just going for one final hot lap there, but just came off going through turn 8 through turn 9. So I think it might be all over for him. He's P5 right now. Big Gallo is out there though. I'm not too sure what his situation is.
As Sean Madison heads off on another lap. Philippa Keita looks like she's set to maybe improve as well. It's all very small margins across the front of the field, their gains.
Well, I was going to say, it's 4 seconds covering the entire field from first to 33rd. So I reckon that's pretty decent. Obviously, you've got the different colour, different levels of drivers throughout, but I reckon that's, it seems pretty well compacted.
Keita has finished her lap, wasn't able to improve.
What about D. Martin? He's out there. Big Gallo, I think, is just ahead of him. So it'll be Big Gallo who'll cross the line first, then D. Martin.
O'Hara is coming through the last corner at the moment. He's pulling out of that one. He's into the pits. Don't think Madison's going to improve here either.
Big Gallo is down too, so he's about to come across the line. D. Martin's called it in the pits. No, he hasn't. Sorry. No, he has. Yeah, there you go. So let's see what Gallo's got. I'll keep an eye on that for you. He doesn't improve, so he'll remain in P6.
So the best laps were done earlier in the session. pole position taken out by Philip Akita with a 34.2. O'Hara, 10th and a half off. Madison was 10th, well, not far off. O'Hara himself. Mitchell Weston taking out 4th. Dylan Martin in 5th. Brenner Gallo 6th. Paul Russell, Mitch Hobbs, Michael Easter, Vic Chan. That rounds out the top 10. As we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back to round 3 from Zandvoort for the RaceOnOz PC League. Joe Marnie and Nick Kramer in the combox as the cars set out on the formation lap. Nick, what did you think of the qualifying session then?
Busy. It was really busy. A lot of cars out on the circuit. There's 33 in the server tonight. It's only a 4.2 kilometre circuit. Very twisty. Not much opportunity for overtaking. So we saw traffic affect quite a few runs. But as you mentioned, I think all the good work got done earlier on in the session, and there wasn't too many times it came in late. So interesting to see also that the Porsches kind of dominate up the front there with P4, 5 and 7, so 3 in the top 7. Kind of noticing a bit of a trend about sort of the rear engine cars as well. So the BMWs, what were P2 and P10 in Vic Chan, followed by Mercedes. So not many front engine cars doing well around here this evening. So maybe that's a bit of a sign of things to come. V Chan is definitely a very familiar name I'm familiar with, so you'd expect to see some things from him, and obviously Aohara is already proven to be a race winner this season, so yeah, look, very exciting things from him as well.
Definitely, it's going to be plenty of action at the start of this race. Just to recap, Peter Wall was the leading qualifier for Silver Class, and Mark Hurley was the lead qualifier for An Class, who himself and J Mack got themselves amongst the silver drivers. Got one car which is in the pits, and that's A Rice. So fortunately for him, he's going to be starting from the pit lane, although he could miss out on some of the carnage at turn 1.
Tarzan, turn 1 Tarzan, so always a bit of excitement down there. I'd say even going into up sort of that little kink of turn 2 and into turn 3, expect to see a bit of action there tonight as well, I think, at the start. So 33 cars to get through. It will be a mighty effort if they all get through there cleanly tonight, I reckon.
As the field continues to form up, cars look like they're a bit out of position at the start of this one. That's a bit sloppy. So just wait for the green light.
Green light, give us all you can.
There
Off we go. It's a pretty clean start.
They've all managed to get through all right, so turn 1's done, and
we've got one car around at the back.
That was Masterson and Masterson made contact, I think. Might have been with Dean Karki, I think. To see the timing monitor does a little freak out as well.
Oh, there's further contact at the back.
That was... Oh, who was that? That was in that Gulf Western livery.
That was James Mack, who's had a moment. Further up the field, looks like there was a bit of contact between Paul Russell and Mitchell Weston.
He's dropped down to 7th, Mitchell, so not a great start for him. Aohara as well, he's lost one spot to S. Madison, so they've swapped positions on this first lap here. Bakita though, she's got a pretty decent gap already on Madison. O'Hara's chasing him down. Gallo is hanging in there as well. D. Martin, oh here we go, P. Russell. Just coming under attack here from M. Hobbs in the Audi. Mitchell Weston just hanging back there, having a look, see if he might be able to pick up a couple of spots for these guys squabbling with each other. Got plenty of company though, so they're all filtering through turn 3 there, up along the hill, down the dip, that roller coaster that you were speaking of, JJ. Sorry, Joe, sorry, my mistake. Sorry, Joe.
You're right, mate.
Force of habit. We all know who we're talking about here. Well, hopefully.
Exactly. It's all a pretty tight battle here amongst his top 10. As Weston's looking to go around the outside of Hobbs.
He's got Easter. Yeah, he's got Easter right
on him now as well.
Yeah, looks like he got a pretty good run out of there as well. Ooh. Mitchell just going a little bit deep under brakes, but that looks alright. And then one V Chan in there too, so you want to keep your eyes peeled for him for an attack. Nice onboard shot. It's a nice livery from M Easter as well, I've got to say. I'm digging it. Sort of like an ice cold kind of livery, all predominantly white.
It's cool with white rods as well. As Bakita sets the fastest time, 35.3. It's 1.3 second gap back to Sean Madison with O'Hara not that far behind either. It's good for you to have over this section of the track. See the deflection of the wheel, the movement and suspension through that section of the track. And even here, see how close it gets to this curve on the inside.
He settled the car a little bit, but nothing too major.
He's starting some form of champion, so can't be discounted in any way. He's driving.
Nice little scrap happening right now down in the lower positions. I think it's Pete Oliver and M. Hurley going at it. So Audi versus Bentley down in the lower spots.
So Oliver has had a moment on that first lap and has lost 13 positions from the start. Wow. So he's got a fair bit to do. So he's got it's a Dragon Ball Z livery there. That looks absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's cool.
Try and get a close-up of this one. There we go. He's right on the tail of Mark Hurley.
Even the trio behind him, Kay Parsons, looks like he's putting a move on, or is it D. Karki? I think it's D. Karki getting the move done on Kay Parsons there in the Nissan. He's got A-Tron behind him too.
There's a bit of contact between these guys. Let's have a quick look at what's happened here. Is anything untoward? Very slight contact down the straight, side by side. There's nothing in that. Did show up as contact, and that's relatively clean. There's nothing in that. He's got that job done pretty well.
I think that's just had his elbows open a little bit there, but nothing vindictive in that.
Definitely not. It's a good bit of racing. As this would be amongst the silver class drivers. Oh, who's that going across? So I've missed the contact that's happened amongst these guys then.
16, is it under 16? 76, sorry, 76. That was S. Haycock.
So this is the back end of the silver class, this battle. Okay. As O'Hara in third place has taken the quickest lap of the race. 34.8. This battle here is really heating up. So Weston has been passed by Easter.
So a couple of Audis ahead of him. He's got Vic right behind him now. So him and M. Frost in the Mercedes. still only, what, 2 front-engine cars in the top 10 right now.
This is a pretty angry little battle group here. It's from Mitch Hobbs all the way down to 12. So that's 7th all the way down to 12th as Weston.
Yeah, nice move. Oh, here comes Vic as well. Vic's going to try and get on the action.
Well.
Oh, this is good racing right here. This is going to be good fun into turn. What, he's got it on the marbles, Vic Jan. He thought about it. Pulled out at the last moment. Mitchell's managed to get the job done though, so nice pass from him. Looks like M. Frost and Latanzio. Sorry if I mispronounced that, my apologies. They're right in this.
Just calling him Nando.
Oh, and I'll call him Nando's a lot easier for me, so... And Jay Reid just on the back of that group there, so...
Mitch Hobbs has managed to check out by a second. Little gaps forming as Big Chan is all over the back of Easter.
Yeah, very familiar with Vic, so yeah, very accustomed to his style. Obviously, very quick. New to PC, so come across from console. Looks like he's managing to hold his own right now.
Oh, Easter got a lot of the curb. Grabbed a lot of the sausage on the entry to the chicane.
I always say, JJ, pressure either makes diamonds or it bursts pipes.
That's exactly right.
It doesn't look like he's got as good a run out of the final turn as he did last lap, so I don't think he's going to be able to take advantage of that draft. It looks like Mitchell Weston is, though, just ahead of these guys.
So Weston was 7/10 quicker than Hobbs on that last lap, so he's been able to bridge that gap very quickly. He was almost a second quicker than, well, he was a second quicker than most of the guys in that battle group. So Weston has pace. If you get some clean air, as Mitch Hobbs just runs a bit wide.
Ooh, he's going to go up inside here. Nice racing between these two. Oh, that's a bit of a connection drama. It's okay from here. Still going at it hammer and tong. So neither of these guys giving an inch. Mitchell all over the back of that Audi. Hobbs is doing a great job to hold him off though. So he came under severe pressure, was able to absorb it. Let's see how he goes with this final run. It's going to be Audi versus Porsche, an all German affair. Mitchell ducking and diving, and Hobbs just doing a nice job, just holding his lines. He can control the situation. He did really nicely there, Hobbs. That was good driving. Mitchell might be feeling a little bit frustrated at this stage. Difficult track to pass. Oh, and you can sort of see it there. Just, you can feel the tension just sort of building up in him, getting a bit frustrated. We're only at 48 minutes still to go, so not early enough you'd think for a pit stop to try and get himself out of here. So he's going to have to suck it up for now and work his way past Hobbs. But Hobbs is doing a great job of holding him up at this stage. Great for the viewing though. I don't know about you, JJ. I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
Oh, this is a great battle. This is probably the best chance Weston's got, as Hobbs just runs wide, grabs a bit of the dirt.
I think he was a little bit shaky through here last time as well, Hobbs, so managed to still keep his position. Oh, goes a little wide. And that's all you need to give. Just a sniff to Mitchell. He takes that. He's going to try and just skip away now up the straight. Can the Audi fight back?
The Audi's got some pace.
Definitely has. Oh, but Mitchell, he's got the inside line here. Pulls it up in time. Nice work. A little wobble from Hobbs there, so he's going to have to keep an eye on the other Audi east behind him. And Vic Chan will just be keeping an eye on this situation to see how it evolves, see if he can pick up a couple of scraps. He hasn't moved a spot yet, so he's stayed exactly where he started, P10. Be wanting to move his way up eventually, but Mitchell's done that. So he's up into 7th. Out in front though, Bakita, 1.2 seconds ahead of Madison. And then O'Hara, Gallo and Dean Martin, that's your top 5. Almost at the quarter way mark.
So just have a quick look at this battle between Patrick Oliver and he's going to get the job done on Stu Parsons.
Oh, that's a very familiar name as well, Stu Parsons.
And then as we go back, Deesman to make a pass on Carlos Dominiak. So this is the back end of silver class. Coming up on lap traffic.
Might have a little toe here.
It's James Reed into the pits. It's very early.
That is very early.
Keep an eye on the pit stop time for him. See if this is just pure strategy, trying to get some clean air.
At the front's just starting to develop a little bit as well, JJ. O'Hara, right on the back of Madison now, so it's 0.2 the difference.
These two are matching each other for lap times. In fact, on the last lap, there was only 0.2 of a second difference between the top 3, and this is it's going to get tighter. We'll just look at the lap times over the last few laps between these two. So Sahara and Madison. There's really not much in it at all. So this battle could come down to pit stops.
Or whoever makes a mistake, if either of them do make a mistake. At this stage, doesn't look like they've made any, and don't really see any coming anytime soon between these two.
The mistakes amongst these few are
not
rare.
Many. Few and far between. I would assume.
Yeah, but they do happen. It's funny what pressure can do.
Makes people do funny things. He's all over the back of him though. I think he might find the same thing as we saw with Western. It is a tricky track to pass. So not an abundance of opportunity. Tight and twisty.
And at this point, Bakita's really getting away from these guys. It's kind of around that 2.5 mark. It's not really pulling away.
No, she's not skipping away with it. These other guys, despite they're not necessarily squabbling, but despite their best efforts to battle with one another, they're not exactly dropping time hand over fist to her at the moment. So I think the gap's even come down very so slightly. There is a big, 6 cars down there in 8th, 9th and 10th as well. Vic Chan's one of them. Squabbling for position going into turn 1 at the beginning of this lap. They all seem pretty evenly matched as well. Yeah, so the difference between Easter, Chan, Frost, Nando. Yeah, they're very tightly compacted, 9, 10, 11 and 12 right now. And 8 for that matter, Hobbs.
So just to show how hard it actually is to pass on this track, since lap 1, there's only been one position change in the top 10, and that was Western Hobbs at this point. There's been a few position changes, but actually from that point, the only real change is that gain of one position to Mitchell Western.
And you saw how hard it was for him to get past too, so just a really good illustration of how difficult it is to pass around here. Is both the Audis just run a little bit wide on the grass on that final turn, but it doesn't diminish their speed at all. But despite the no passing, I've thoroughly enjoyed this. This has been some really, really good, clean, competitive racing. It is exactly what you would expect from these drivers though at this level. So, you know, unsurprising yet entertaining at the same time.
As O'Hara is very, very close to Madison at the moment. It's just dropped down to less than half a second. Might have just been that position of the track as...
You just missed it, JJ. Just stepped away for that. Oh no, he went around. Who was that? Was that Easter or Hobbs?
That was Easter.
It was Easter. I think he might have done that on his own as well.
We'll have a look at that one in a second. It's still trying to sort itself out.
He's in the pits. Oh, he's out.
We'll have a quick look. So Hobbs is...
Yeah, look at that. Just got on the dirt.
Oh, he's done that on his own.
Yeah. Oh, shame. Oh, and then that was Hobbs and Vic Chan. Who's that trying to get through? That was Matt Frost in the Mercedes there.
So as we go back live, this battle's still continuing. So Vic Chan's up into 8. Hobbs is back to 9.
That Audi will be probably at a little bit of an advantage. We've seen the Audis how good they've been so far tonight, so maybe just a little bit more nimble than the front engine BMW, but it does belong to Vic Chan though, so it's no easy feat to get past this man. But yeah, it can still happen though, so Hobbs will be doing his very best. A couple of Mercedes behind him as well, belonging to Frost and Nando. I like the Italian flag livery, I believe it was, on that Mercedes. I'm digging it. It's cool. I like it. Kind of what the Alfa Romeos did the other week in Azerbaijan.
Does a good livery, Nando. So he technically, he's leading silver class. He doesn't really need to be in this battle. He can just let them go, but in the moment, he will have a crack at them if he gets the opportunity. That's for sure. He will try and get into the top 10. I think that is... So there's a few cars pitting now. There's been a bit of a moment between McElhinney and Haycock, I believe. Quick look at the replay of this one. So they're still in a battle. Oh, he has gone wide.
Yeah. Oh, and then, he's almost... who was that in the red car? Was that Haycock?
That's Haycock, yes.
Yeah, he might have even got a little bit surprised there. He's almost sort of overcorrected. Interesting as well, we talked about the traffic. Bakita is just coming up on a bit of traffic at the moment, so we'll see if she's just coming up behind a pretty feisty scrap between, I think it's Jay Reid and Kate Parsons, so we'll see if traffic plays a part in the race tonight. You know, these guys will be doing their very best to make sure they're keeping letting the faster guys come through, as Kate Parsons does just exactly that. But you know, when you're in the heat of the moment, you know, battling wheel to wheel with someone else, it can be a little bit difficult to yield sometimes. So no troubles so far with Reid and Parsons, but we'll see what the next 35 minutes brings us.
As Matt Frost got pretty close to Hobbs heading into the first part of the lap, as Mitchell Weston pits, so 35 minutes left. Get a fresh set of boots and have a crack at the second session of the race. So we've got Simone Cocco as the leader. As there goes Hobbs. Does he keep out?
Around. Oh, and Nando almost lost it, taking evasive action there too. So good job to keep that under control and not go off the circuit.
Just have another look at that one. Has he...
Ooh. Oh.
Did manage to stay out of everyone's way.
Who was that coming through? Was that Wall, I think, or...?
No, that was Hemi Bateman.
Yeah.
Audi, and then the wall just behind him.
Comes at you pretty quick around here, doesn't it? If there's a car sitting sideways on the circuit, it comes up pretty fast.
Can be a bit blind through that section too, so you're not exactly looking at that point of the circuit. So he's going to pit at that point. It's a tricky pit lane to get into as well.
It's a long pit lane.
Very long pit lane. We had an issue last season where a car has actually spun on pit entry and was perpendicular to the track.
Oh, yeah.
Lane, so.
I've seen that before. I see Heather Russell is cheering on P. Russell in the chat as well. So I think he's just in the pits right now as we speak. But Heather is cheering him on.
And there he is. It's just exiting pit lane.
Oh, it's going to be a drag race out of there.
I think that was a lap car as well.
Oh, yeah.
Pits at that point. And he's come out just ahead of Mitchell Weston. Just have a quick look at the pit stop length then. So identical pit stop times between Weston and Russell.
Wow.
So they're going
Look
to
at that.
continue their battle on track. I think this is going to be one to watch. So Weston pitted first, and Weston had pace too. He was catching Russell prior to that.
Mitchell's just been kind of stuck in a bit of... He's had someone in front of him the whole race tonight, hasn't he? Hasn't had much clear air.
And that's disappointing because when he's grabbed clean air, he's been very quick. He's been matching the pace at the front of the field. So if you can get past Russell on with tyres that are getting up to temp,
Yeah.
he's got a good gap ahead of him.
Now, I don't think Russell's going to be easy to get past, though. Similar machinery, both Porsches, so no real distinct advantage. This is going to be real sort of, skill versus skill here.
I think Weston just had to back out of it now.
This is where just a bit of patience is going to pay off now for Mitchell. Just, he's kind of lost that first opportunity there where Russell coming out of the pits, waiting for his tyres to get up to pressure, getting back in the rhythm of things. It's been a lap already. So Russell will already be feeling just that little bit calmer now, more getting back in that rhythm. Mitchell will be a little bit deeper in it, but now he's just got to...
Neil Clayton is in the sand. It popped up on the screen a couple of times on this lap. It's interesting to see what's actually happened here. Oh, that's a big bit of netcode.
I was going to say, that looked like a big time.
So that's an unfortunate one. He's back on track going again. So it was just popped up on my screen that there was something going on amongst those couple of cars there. As the majority of the pit stops are occurring now.
It's that time of the race.
So we'll get back into this battle here.
Great camera shot too.
Yeah, Weston just kind of misses the apex in the last corner. He's got a good run on here though. There's a bit of slipstream. Oh, here we go.
Did pretty well to not make any contact there as well.
Oh, it came up quickly in that camera angle, didn't it?
Russell has got his hands full here. Mitchell seems like he's a man in a hurry. They've got Sassana and Dominiak. Oh no, they've gone, they've done. Look at that. One shot from behind. It's a real patience track, isn't it? You really got to pick your moments and make it stick. Yeah, this is kind of come to a bit of a stalemate between these two right now.
Best opportunity is turn one. That's the best spot for an overtake. He's going to get a good run out of here and onto the front straight.
But Russell doing a great job of keeping him behind though. I don't think he's going to get a run. No, he has a little bit of a look.
Yeah, he's not quite close enough, is he?
I think this situation, this kind of track, a little bit of racecraft, that's where that sort of comes into handy, sort of just trying to, psych the other guy out a little bit. You've got to use a bit more of your toolkit to your advantage in situations like this. It can't just be raw outright speed. It needs to be, just sort of setting guys up, showing the nose here or there, get him to think one way, go the other. But right now, Russell doing a fantastic job of keeping Weston behind him. It's a really, really good scrap here, and I think Gallo is pitting from P3, so one of the top position drivers right now. He's making his way into the pits. The field is relatively spread out, or as spread out as it can be on this circuit. Still plenty of congestion out there. And yeah, this seems to have, they've got come to a bit of a stalemate now. As more of the top drivers decide to come into the pits, the high position drivers, if you like. Bakita and Madison, P1, P2, yet to make their stops. We're over the halfway mark as well, so you'd have to think they'll be in shortly.
By the predictions I've got Andy O'Hara coming out in second place through the once Madison pits, and
Yep.
he's catching Bakita too, so it's going to be pretty tight when they pit as Bakita is in, so that's probably why that showed up at that moment. I still think it's going to be pretty tight between those two when Bakita comes out.
Well, O'Hara, he is coming through. Where is he now? Just making his way onto through not turn 3, the back of the circuit. So Bakita still stationary right now. Oh, he's just coming into 11 and 12 here. O'Hara. Madison in there too. He's a little bit further up the pit box. Bakita's still stationary. O'Hara coming through the final turn. Here we go. Bakita's making her way out now. This is going to be super close. Wow. This is going to be... Look at this. This is all... Almost could go around the outside there, but just holds off. So great work from O'Hara to close down that gap. And he's all over the back of Bakita. Only 25 minutes left as well, so she's got a job on her hands to keep that BMW of O'Hara. He wants to try and take advantage as well. His tyres are up to pressure. He's in that rhythm.
So just checking, there's a bit of contact between Russell and Weston. I think that was at turn 1.
You can kind of feel that one coming as well, couldn't you? The way those two were going at it. But I think that's everyone stopped as well. So Bakita, she's remained in P1. O'Hara, Madison, Geller, Russell. That's your top 5. And then Weston, D. Martin, V. Churn, he's moved up from 10th. M. Frost and M. Hobbs. That's your top 10 right now.
So out of those leading cars, Madison was the second slower in the pits than Bakita and O'Hara. So that's where some of that gap has come from. So back through, so there's a particularly slow pit stop for Dylan Martin, who's now in 7th. So he got passed by Russell and Weston in the pit stops.
Yeah, that was considerably slower, wasn't it? 5 seconds than the fast time there of Bakita. Looks like he was the only driver in the 60-second mark as well that we can see. Oh, so Reed down there in 18th, 62, Desmond 65. So I think it makes it even more impressive. O'Hara, he made up all that time on track too.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So he did set the fastest lap of the race, which is a 34.8. And these two resume their battles from the first 2 races.
He probably would have been thinking as well as he went side by side with her in turn 1. He would have been, well, all my hard work's just about to pay off. And then just like that, it isn't. So it can be a bit disheartening, but that's when you've got to put the bit between your teeth and realise there's still 25 minutes to go in this, just under half race distance. Plenty of time, and they're coming up on some lap traffic once again. So just adds that extra layer of difficulty. Not too
So out
sure.
of that top 20, there's big position gains there by Carlos Dominia. He's up 10 positions. Anthony Susan is up 7. So those guys in silver class have made some good gains.
Did a great job. Up 10 spots. Everyone else is sort of... What do you got? Jonathan M, 5 spots. Susanna, 7 as well. So some big movers there. Top 3 haven't changed though. Stayed the same the whole race. How's Ray Hagger's been going this season, Joe?
He has made some good improvements. He's definitely gotten quicker. The shift to PC at the moment. We'll just see how he's going in class. So he's 4th in class in silver class, but it's a pretty strong showing from Haggis. He was way too quick for AM class last season, and he's made the step up. As he's 2.5 seconds away from Henry Bateman ahead of him, and then Wall's not that similar gap ahead of them to Wall. But the leader of class is Nando Latanzio, and he seems to have gotten to grips with this Merc. He wasn't that comfortable in it last season. It does have a bit of a mind of its own, as Bakita sets the fastest lap of the race, 34.7. With O'Hara behind her, 34.9. So that battle's going to rage on as Russell's just managed to gap Weston slightly. Back behind these two, Dylan Martin in the OES Porsche is making some good ground on these guys. He was 7/10 quicker than Weston on that last lap, so this battle could get tighter. 3 cars in it.
Yeah, Mitchell just can feel the growing level of impatience from here. They've got some lap traffic coming up here as well. They does a great job to get out of the way there. So nice driving. Not too sure who that was, but great work from them. Always tough when you got the faster guys coming through.
There was a stop-go penalty. Car 5. That's Herbertron. So he's down in 32nd position at the moment. Big damage on the front of Haycock's car. Just have a quick look, see what's happened. Be on the exit. Grab the grass, and he's in the fence. That's big damage.
Big hit. Yeah, that's a big hit, that one.
It's had a tough night in that Audi.
Yeah. He's going to be in there for a while with that one. Just the gap out in front as well, just between P1 and P2, just keeping an eye on that. 1.3 seconds now, almost 1.4. So O'Hara, was that his best shot that he had at it? That'd be probably what he might be thinking right now. He's got plenty of work ahead.
He's dropped a fair bit of time on this lap actually, and he's continuing to drop time.
I think that might have been his shot. Yeah. He's got a couple of guys in their own private battle up ahead too. So yeah, it's 1.7 now. The difference. Maybe he had some lap traffic. Maybe just broke the concentration a little bit. As Bakita goes fastest lap, so that's a little bit of salt in the wound right there.
Bakito's setting lap records, and O'Hara was 1.2 seconds slower on that lap.
Yeah, that's very disheartening. We're seeing the purple flashing up.
Yeah, it makes a difference, that.
Oh, Wheezy launches it. He makes contact at turn 1. Just a little nudge out the way. I think he redresses that. Sorry, JJ, I was just watching that on another screen. Those two, he did make a bit of contact there. It was a pretty deep dive. And now they got D. Martin, who's just worked himself up on the back of these guys. There you go. So just a little bit of contact there.
It's a strong dive, but
Yeah.
redressed the position. He's done the right thing there. There was a message went out to all drivers this afternoon about redressing and driving standards. A slight tweak to the protest procedure, or the incident review procedures, we're calling it now. So this battle continues. There's a lot of lap traffic ahead of these guys. So that's Neil Fagney in that red and white Aston Martin just ahead of this group.
Closing in on the final quarter as well of the race. So that's when desperation levels just tend to rise a little bit. That red mist gets a little bit redder, and the gaps seem to get a little bit larger when they're actually not as large. Wheezy's gonna have to go out on the marble. Look at this. If he pulls this up, look at this. Oh, bad contact again. That was shades of Hakkinen and Schumacher at Spa. That was awesome. Seen by those two. He had to go on the marbles as well, so he was lucky to be able to pull it up. But oh man,
Gonna watch the replay of this one.
here we go. This is look at that.
Look at how tight this is.
He made a bit of contact with the wall as well. Wow. Wow, and then again. I reckon they both would have been loving that. D. Martin, he had the box seat on all of that. He had the best spot in the house.
I can guarantee you that Neil Fagney would not have enjoyed any of that then. You would have just seen your whole race just flash in front of your eyes if that happened.
D. Martin, he'd have a big smile on his face right now. He'd be thinking, these two are just fighting amongst themselves. I'm going to sneak up on the back of them. I might earn myself a couple of spots while these two fight amongst themselves. Oh, is it just a bit of snapper oversteer there from Russell, just getting a little bit ragged. He'd be pushing hard now. Mitchell just opened up a little bit of a gap there, so a little bit of breathing room for him. We're not going to see any heroics like we saw on the previous lap, but that was awesome, man. That was great racing. I picked a good night to jump in.
Oh, that was absolutely brilliant racing.
We'll put that one on the highlight reel, I reckon, and Western.
Oh, I reckon there would have been a bit of fist pumping going on from Western after that one too.
Yeah.
They would have absolutely loved that.
I reckon the heart rate would have been up from both of those guys. But yeah, D. Martin, he'll just want to be trying to take advantage of this situation.
I say D. Martin has improved his consistency out of sight in recent races, and this is a testament to him. It's about to give him a rev up, and he set a massive slide. I thought it was going to curse him into the fence then. I don't want that to happen.
A massive slide is better than a big accident. So commentators curse commentators curse light on that one, Joe. So
you can you can see the scratches in the side of the door.
Look at that. Well, they made contact a couple of times into turn one, didn't they? So he's wearing the battle scars of that. And we'll be able to get a nice little toe D. Martin on Russell. No, not on this time around. The 3 Porsches, 5, 6 and 7. Just having a look at the AM class, Joe, as well. I think S. Cocco, looks like he's the leader of the class. We haven't spoken too much about him tonight in the McLaren. Number
Smoke Cocco
69.
does tend to just fly under the radar. He just tends to stay out of trouble and get the job done. So he's, so as you say, leading AM class. He's got a decent gap over Mark Hurley.
So Heather Russell just giving us a bit of an update, saying Paul would be spewing about that move. So I reckon I would be too. I'd be particularly happy about that. Is that the Dragon Ball Z car now? Is that for position? Is that M Hobbs? Just gaining on the back of these guys?
No, that is...
No, okay. I think it was like car 700 or something. It was in the 7s, I think.
100, that's Patrick Oliver.
Oh, 100, sorry. I was only off by 600. That's... Oh, here we go. D. Martin. Going to go around the outside. And can't quite. It's the long way around there at Tarzan. It does get a little bit light there through turn 2. Can easily lose the back end, can step around. Turn 3. And then they're going to go up the hill and then down the roller coaster. So I reckon D. Martin had fancied his chances in the last 10 minutes of this one to get himself up into P6. Not too sure if he could snag a top 5 though. Mitchell Weston seems to have that relatively under control, but a lot can happen in the next 10 minutes.
Oh, he got very close to the back of him. So Weston was 8/10 quicker on that last lap, so he's been able to skip away from these guys.
Yeah, I think he's got a bit of breathing room now, Mitchell, so he can just eyes forward, concentrate on ahead of him and take care of business there while these two are going to fight it out to the end. And it looks like Nikita has got a pretty comfortable lead right now, 3.5 seconds at the front. We haven't seen too much of her tonight. She seems to have done it relatively easily. They always tell you though that it wasn't easy, it's always hard, so they'll never admit to it being cruisy. But yeah, Andrew O'Hara, he did launch that attack out of the pit stops, but that proved to be really his best chance tonight. He hasn't had an opportunity to be 6, so I guess that speaks to the class as well of Nikita.
Just having a quick look at this battle in silver class between Hemi Bateman and Peter Wall. And then back behind them, there's Sana and Masafto. There's not too many position battles through the field. Oh, there's this one here between Neil Fakey and Mark Hurley. It's been going on for a few laps, this one. So that's not for a class battle, that'll be...
Position.
That is just track position, that one.
Yep.
And they're lap traffic now for... That'll be Frost just behind them.
Well, D. Martin's having a big look, Joe, up the front straight right now on Russell. Oh, I reckon he might have him. He's got the... Oh, there's a car coming out of the pits, makes contact again. So, and he goes around now, P. Russell. So, that inside... Oh, No, he's got to turn it around almost as well, getting back on the circuit. So you'd be thinking, how many times do I have to bloody get hit up the front inside panel there going into turn 1 tonight? That's probably about the 3rd or 4th time. He's dropped a couple of spots now, so...
See, did manage to stay out of the way of traffic. Oh, he's just about
almost turned it around, getting back. That would have been just... that could have almost been a rage quit right there.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be too happy
No, I don't
behind
think
that
so
steering
either.
wheel at the moment.
Probably be some words spoken amongst themselves after the race. Potentially some protests and whatnot coming through, but we'll leave that for the stewards. That's an enjoyable job, isn't it, stewarding, Joe? Good times?
Yeah, it does. It does make for some interesting discussions. So there has been a change within the PC League that the trusted driver panel, as they're called. So it's drivers within the league with have a lot of respect from other drivers. Well, there's a lot of contact between Sassana and Assetto here. That continues on. Yes, this panel will actually do reviews of any incidents that happen within the race. So they go through the replay and they will pick out incidents that are worth a review, and then they'll decide incident warrants and penalties. And that doesn't even go through the process of waiting for drivers to submit protests. Drivers can still do that, but they're looking at improving the standards of driving within the league, and so the review process happens immediately after the race.
Sounds like a good way to do it.
Oh, I think well, coming from, or compare that to console where you've only got 4 minutes of replay saved at a time, when you can look at the entire race, the entire hour.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference. And one of the things is a big thing within the league is self-stewarding, as in if you are in an incident that is your fault, you redress, and you do get incidents, and I would say like Martin and Russell, that need a closer look post-race and leave that to the stewards. I think that's what Martin has done in this case. So that, I'm sure that'll be one that will be looked at closely.
It seems just like a cleaner, easier way to do things.
Oh, that's right. And another example is the bit of netcode that got Neil Fakeney, that from his perspective, or the replay that he has, it could just look as though a car's completely driven in through his back door, but on the replay that and what we saw is that there was a big bit of lag, and that's what took the car out. So within that process, there's still an opportunity for people to provide their footage and their response to particular incidents, because we are at the mercy of the internet.
Yeah, true.
And these things do happen. Unfortunately, it can be a bit unstable at times. As it's after that, the top 10 is all pretty well spread out through to Peter Wall and Hemi Bateman are actually catching Nando here. So I'm just wondering if Nando might have a bit of damage or has something going on.
He's been solid all race, so this would be quite unusual.
He was the second slower than these guys in the previous lap. There's only 3 minutes left in it.
Maybe traffic. Might have just got caught up in a little bit of traffic. There seems to be quite a few cars ahead of him at the moment, so might have been some lap traffic perhaps that just held up a little bit.
These two behind him are in a pretty solid battle.
Yeah. I was going to say 6.2 seconds the gap at the front, but have a look at these two. Hammy Bateman, he's going to send it up the inside into turn 1 into Tarzan. Oh. Just thinks better of it. I think McLaren just getting out of the way there. Looks like Nando has regathered himself, so whatever was ailing him is no longer. So,
oh, he's still 6/10 slower on the previous lap. So these guys pulled together and tried to make the gap up to him. It could be an interesting last lap.
Hammy Bateman is not gonna die trying. He's not gonna die wondering, that's for sure. He's giving it everything he possibly can at this stage. And P Wall all over the back of Nando now. Just under a minute remaining in this one, so he's going to probably have, depends where the Bakita is as well, doesn't it? We're going to get 1 or 2 laps at it. Haven't heard the notification yet, so I assume we're still going. Just trying to think of, see where Bakita is. Oh yep, she's just coming through turn 11 and 12 now, so
2 laps left for these guys.
Yeah.
As Weston's had an off. And he's had a big off.
Oh no! So close in the final minute as well. That's huge. Oh, who's he got behind him here? Is that?
That's not going to be the position, but we'll just have a quick look to see what happened to Weston.
Oh no! Oh, it's by himself. Oh, I think he got on the grass pretty early on.
Oh, and he's just bagged it up trying to get on as you see Martin coming at him. So Martin up into the top 5.
Mate, well done. Top 5 finish. One man's loss is another man's gain right there. Oh, have a look at this. Whoa. I think he's going to get... Oh. So he'll have another lap. Nando here. Can't see any damage, any signs of any damage on the side of the car there. I'm not too sure what you can see, Joe, but...
Oh, they both ran wide then the exit.
Here we go. Only to the final turn.
Could be something as simple as he's trying to save fuel to get to the end.
Possibly, yeah. He's doing a pretty good job though. This is a spirited effort though from Wall. He's given it absolutely everything here. And Hammy Bateman is doing his best to hang in there too, so...
As Bakita crosses the line to take the win.
We forgot about that, didn't we?
I didn't forgot about that. She was coming up with some lap traffic then as well. I think those couple of guys are in a battle themselves. So this one I definitely want to watch till the end. I have a feeling there's some more dramas to come.
Oh. Wall is going to... You just get the feeling he's going to absolutely send it here at some stage. You want to see him scrap it out right to the end though. The O'Hara and Madison, they were P2 and P3 while we're watching this. Gallo 4th, D Martin 5th, Weston 6th, V Chan crosses the line in 7th, P Russell 8th, M Frost 9th. Looks like Hobbs take 10th and Latanzio in 11th, but P Wall and Hammy Bateman, here we go. The drag race to the end. Mercedes versus Audi. Nando goes the inside line there, but I reckon he's probably just got enough fuel to get home there. I reckon he's run dry.
I think he has run dry.
That's all he had. That's
he was
all
lucky to get to the end then.
I love it. Great stuff. Who else do we have? We've got Dominiak. D-Man in the Aston Martin. I've got to say that livery quite nice. Nice on the eye. Jay Reid in 19th as well. That was good fun, JJ. That was a good race. I enjoyed that.
I am very glad you enjoyed that, mate. That was great fun. As we have a quick look at the finishing places here, as Bakita takes out a second win of the season. Pretty commanding finish in the end by her, and Akihara and Madison round out the podium, as we just saw Nando Latanzio take out silver class by 0.1 of a second. That was a great finish.
Wow.
And Simon Coco takes out the AM class. That was a brilliant bit of racing then, as we just catch our breath.
Well, whoever's doing the fuel calculations for Nando need to give themselves a bit of a pat on the back, because he's absolutely calculated that to perfection. So
He has to.
yeah, credit to him. As yeah, he's done a great job. But Bakita, we barely saw her, didn't we? She spent I think it was pretty much a lights to flag finish for her, so she did a fantastic job, and O'Hara was great in there as well, and Madison. Didn't see too much of Madison either. It was sort of pretty clean sailing for the podium getters. All the action was sort of happening behind them. We saw Weston and Russell going at it for most of the race there, and some other really good scraps too. So,
and
yeah.
shout out to Adrian Rice, who started from pit lane and he made his way up to 20th position. So that was a very good,
great effort. Yeah.
Great effort from him. And well, thank you for joining me tonight, Nick. That was great fun. It was awesome to have you here.
My pleasure.
And thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to having you on next Monday night. Have a good week and stay safe. See you all.
See you, everyone.